morning, everybody. Hi, my name is Tiffany Almeida. I'm with Pretty and Paper Crafts, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Good morning, and thank you so much for joining me on Sunday, my favorite day of the week. I get to go live for coffee and a card, and we make awesome projects every week. So I'm super excited for you guys to join me. And today we are going to be focusing on storage solutions because Lord knows I am the #1 person to admit I have a storage problem. I don't store well. I'm not organized. So this has kind of been a lifesaver. These two projects that I'm going to show you today are wonderful. So let's change this back and I will show you guys kind of an up close video or picture of the tool caddy. So the way this tool caddy works is there's little boxes. Each box comes out and you have this little tray, okay? And it is longer one way and shorter the other, so it's kind of a puzzle to put it together. But it's nice and snug, and as you can see, like I have a ton of stuff in here and it's not tipping over. And that's because the rim is double layered, and I used on the Whisper White, I used thick Whisper White. So it's nice and sturdy. And you can just see that they all just kind of fit in here perfectly and form a really awesome little caddy that's so convenient. It holds so much. So there's like a little one that holds the adhesive, the snail, another one that holds your liquid glues and your glue dots. You have your scissors, piercing tool, bone folder. I put all my watercolor pencils in here, which is cool to have them all and see them all in person. And then also I have my watercolor tools. So I have my spritzers, my aqua painters, my blender pens, and my Wink Stellas. So this is just super cool. It's nice and compact, which fits on my desk awesomely. Okay. The other one, like I mentioned before, is one that people have asked me to recreate because we can no longer get to the Facebook Live video. And this is a DSP, a 6x6 DSP storage. And you can see it has a tray, so a base tray, and then there are 5 of these inserts. So it holds 5 packs of 6x6 DSP. And so I also wanted to point out, like this one, I have remember those baker's boxes? I have those fit in here perfectly as well. So there's other things you can store in these besides DSP. So just an entire pack fits nice and perfect, nice and snug. And you can see here in these tabs that you can label them so you know what's in them. Okay? So I'm going to recreate this for you guys, and then I will definitely upload it to my YouTube channel so that I can we can get to it for forever. Yes, so who was it that said? Jenny, yes, it's missing. So 2 things it's missing. It's missing a place for the tear and tape, and it's missing a place for dimensionals because those are just a little bit wider, and so this one doesn't quite tackle that for us. But I think it's a great start, and it holds so much just on its own. All right, so we're going to take this piece by piece. The first thing we're gonna do, and I'll take these out so I can show you exactly what we're gonna work on. So we're gonna make all of these today. So the first thing we're gonna do is this outside tray. Okay, so I used the Golden Honey DSP. I love that black and white with a little bit of gold in it. So this is gonna be our tray that we're gonna make. That's the first thing we're gonna do. So I have the piece of Whisper White. Now, I do want to point out that all the measurements are on my blog post on the project sheet. So there's a link to the project sheet. You can see on this caddy there are lots and lots of measurements. So this was cased by, I cased Poodles. Poodles made this caddy, and so I cased her design. So I got all of these measurements from her, but there may be a typo in there, so bear with me. I am going off of this today, so I guess if we find a typo along the way, I can note it and I can fix it. All right, so the first thing is the outer tray. So our first one, outer tray, it measures 8 1/8 by 8 5/8. And we're gonna do some scoring to make this bottom tray. So score tool is the Simply Scored tool is gonna be your best friend here. So we're gonna score all 4 sides at 1/2 inch and 1 3/4 inches. Oops. Jump the track here. So 1/2 inch, 1 3/4 inch. 1/2 inch, 1 3/4 and one more. Okay. Now what I like to do before I lay it down, or before I build it, is I will glue the DSP down so it's a little bit easier while it's flat. So now these pieces of DSP, there are 2 that are 1 inch by 4 7/8, and there are 2 that are 1 inch by 4 3/8. So these are slightly shorter. So remember when I told you that it's not a square box, that one side is longer than the other. So just know that you are going to have 2 of 2 different sizes. So 2 by 4 7/8. I mean 1 by 4 7/8. We got 2 of those. I'm just putting those in those center squares where I scored. See that? And then 2 that are 1 inch by 4 3/8. So again, you don't have to remember these measurements. You can absolutely, I think I might give away my second caddy that I make because I don't need 2. I might give this one away, maybe at my retreat. All right, so the things, we do have to do some cutting now, but first let's go ahead and burnish our score lines. So just fold and burnish all these score lines. And see this little 1/2 inch fold that I'm doing here at the top? This is going to be that kind of reinforcement to make sure it's super sturdy. Now the combination of thick Whisper White and that little top piece really holds this thing together. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to cut. So we're going to cut off this rectangle section here and this little rectangle section here. Okay, and then we're going to make a tab on this square here, and we're going to miter the edges. Okay, so that's what one corner is going to look like. We're going to do that on all 4 corners. So we're going to turn it, cut this rectangle out, cut this little rectangle out. You definitely want to miter these edges so that the box fits together a lot nicer. Okay. Oop, don't want to cut that. Okay, so then we're going to miter. Mitering just helps the box fit together a little bit better. You don't have side edges that are poking up or anything like that. Because, you know, as we score, we're not perfect scorers, and we, you know, things don't fit 100% perfectly, but just mitering those edges gives us a little bit of wiggle room because of that. So it's kind of nice. You have nice cleaner boxes when you do things like that. Okay, so I'm just going to miter this and miter this. You just kind of want to make sure again that these skinny rectangles at the top are all mitered a little bit. It's going to help everything lay down a little bit nicer. All right. Now I'm going to use tear and tape because liquid glue, I don't want to get it all sticky. This is going to take a little bit longer, but it's going to be nice and clean. So I'm going to put tear and tape on all of these outer flaps because when we fold them over, we want them to glue down, but we're going to do the side tabs first. So I'm just putting tear and tape here, but we're not going to do anything with them yet. What I'm going to do is flip this over so I have these outside tabs, and I'm going to put tear and tape on these outside tabs. Okay, now I'm going to take my piercing tool and I'm just going to pick off the sides. So you see how I approach the tear and tape from the side? It's a lot easier when you do it that way, because if you try to come at it from the side, like the tear part, sometimes you'll pull up the adhesive. It's a little bit harder. Oop, like that one. That one took the whole adhesive off. Let's see if we can stick it back down. Nope, it's a goner. Okay. Get off my finger. All right, we'll do one more. That one just ripped the paper right off. There we go. Okay. All right, so now we're going to build our box here. We're going to put these little tabs on the insides. And once you stick them down, they're stuck. So make sure your things line up before you stick. And this is just that little tray. All right, so now we've got our little tray put together. Now we can take these the adhesive off of these inside tabs and fold them over. And that's going to glue over the tab, and it's going to make this side really sturdy. Oop, just stabbed myself with a pierce tool. That's cool. Probably should put that down while I do that. The pierce tools are really sharp too. They are a weapon. Okay, so there's our nice little tray. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Super cute, right? And I love the black and white. All right, so trays are done. Now let's move on to the next line of measurements as I throw all these scraps away. So the next line is going to be this tiny box. So I'm going from smallest box to largest box. So it's going to go in this order. Boom, boom, and boom. So now we're going to make this smallest box that holds the a runner, a snail runner perfectly. Look at that look at that, how perfect that is. Okay, so we have, again, I'm just following my measurements. I put them in that order, so the next one down. So here's outer tray. Now here's our smallest box. So we have a piece of thick Whisper white, and it measures 6.5 by 3 1/4. So now we're going to do our little score lines. And we have 4 pieces of DSP that go with it. 2 pieces are 1 3/4 by 1 1/2, and 2 pieces are 3/4 by 1 1/2. Okay. Alrighty. So here's our piece of cardstock. This is, again, 6.5 by 3 1/4. Now on the long side, so on the 6.5 side, we're going to score at 1 inch, 3 inches, 4 inches, and 6 inches. Now we're going to turn it to the short side, and we're going to score at 1 inch and 2 3/4 inches. Okay. Okay, so for these, we'll just burnish all these score lines. Again, here's that top piece. All right, so now what we're going to cut is we're going to take this side that has a 1/2 inch score line. You guys see that 1/2 inch score line? I'm going to cut off this rectangle completely, and I am mitering the sides of it. So see, I'm just taking this corner off, and I'm going to take this bottom rectangle off as well. And this, we're just going to basically build a little box. So on the bottom section, so we have this little 1/2 inch side. This is going to be the top. The bottom section, we have these, I didn't score, or I didn't burnish them. So I'll burnish them so you guys can see a little bit better. But this bottom section is going to be the bottom of the box. So we're going to cut up these score lines and miter to make our little tabs. Okay. Now we're going to put adhesive. We're going to put our tear and tape. If I can find the end of it. I'm going to put a little piece right here. And then on this inside flap, we're going to put another run of tear and tape. Now this one, we have to glue the inside flap down first. because when we build it into a box, it'll be kind of hard to do it after the fact. So we just glue that down. Now we're going to peel the backing off the side tab. And what you can do is you can lay your box flat and adhere it down on itself. Okay, so now we have a box. Oh, I forgot the DSP. I'm going to do that while it's still flat. I always like to do the DSP when it's flat. It's just a little bit easier. So we have the two larger pieces. I'm so glad that this Golden Honey DSP is back in stock. That makes me so happy. I really missed it for the week or 2 weeks that it was sold out. Okay, so we've got those on there. Now we're going to glue down the bottoms. And what you can do is just put a piece here. And then on this one, we'll put a piece at the top on the back side. So then what you can do is peel this one and lay it down. And then peel this one and lay it down to form our little box. And then this goes right inside. Cute, cute. Okay, so that's box number 1. Now we're going to go to our second smallest box, which is our little adhesive box. Okay, so that piece. Now I am switching up the color, so don't freak out when you guys see a different color. This one was in black, but I'm going to switch it up to white. And the reason for that is because I wanted to alternate boxes black and white. But I wanted them to intermix, but the way that they fit, it was black against black here, and then all the whites were on this side, so I'm mixing it up. So this one's going to be white, and I'm going to change another one to be black. I don't know if that makes any sense to you guys, but it will to me when I put it all together. So for this piece, this is the second smallest box. It's 10.5 by 5.5, so 10.5 long ways, 5.5 short ways. Now on the long side, you are going to score at 2.5. I have to look at my notes here and keep on the right line. So 2.5, 5, 7.5, and 10. Okay, oh, this one jumped. 2.5, 5, 7.5, and 10. Then we're going to turn it to the short side. And we are going to score at 2.5 and 5. 2.5 and 5. Alrighty. Now before I forget again, I'm going to glue these guys down. And you can do your stripes sideways, long ways, whatever floats your boat. I like sideways. I used the golden black stripes for this one. So you have the skinny 1/2-inch score line along the top. You have your panels with your DSP in the middle. And then these bottom panels are going to be the bottom of your box. Okay, so simple box. It's just different sizes for the boxes. So again, you have this corner here, this little square here up top corner. You're going to take that and miter it off. And then you have this skinny little rectangle along the side. You do not need that. Mitering that off. Okay. And then these bottom sections need to come off as well. And again, I'm just slightly mitering them so they make a nice square box. Because Lord knows I can't score straight anyway. Okay, and then I'll just miter this edge here slightly. Alrighty, now we get to put this box together. So make sure that you have scored, folded, burnished all the edges. It just helps when you're making the box to have all of these folded and burnished. Okay. Alrighty, so now what we're going to do is we're going to put tear and tape on this little tab, little side tab. It's weird to be doing a Facebook Live. Somebody called me a captain because I said floats my boat. Tear and tape, fold this over flat like so, and you form a, I forgot the top piece. Take that off. I got distracted again. You want to fold this flap down first. Somebody said captain, and I was like, captain? Captain of a boat? Got distracted. See, again, I'm talking and trying to work at the same time. It doesn't work so well. All right, so now that we folded that top piece down, let's go ahead, put some more adhesive on here because you know I'm going to need it. All right, let's try this again. There we go. Okay, now we've got our box. Now we have these bottom flaps down. And what I'm going to do just for quickness is I'm going to use liquid glue. I'm going to put liquid glue on each tab as I fold over. And then last, bam. So now we've got our box. Cute, cute. So this box holds a glue dot, your liquid glue. It just fits perfectly. So that's box number 2. All right, so box number 3 is this guy here that's holding scissors, pierce tool, whatever you like, bone folder. So this one, and yes, it's striped. Remember, I changed it up. This one is actually, I'm going to do in basic black. And I'm going to do the honeycomb pattern. So this one is labeled on my project sheet as the medium box. The medium box measures 8 1/4 by 5 1/4. And then I have 4 pieces of DSP, and they all measure 2 1/4 by, oh no, sorry. 1 3/4 by 2 3/4. Again, it's all there. I was just reading the wrong line. Okay, so our medium box, here's how we're going to score this. What is in box number 3? I told you, box number 3. Okay, so medium box. On the long side, on the 8 1/4 side, you're going to score at 2, 4, 6, and 8. And then on the short side, you're going to score at 2 and 5. That doesn't seem right. That, you know what? This must be, we're gonna find problems. This must be 8 1/2 by 5 1/2. 8 1/2 by 5 1/2. I will fix that on the medium box. I will fix that over there on the tutorial. Now we only have 1/4 of an inch to work with. It will still be fine, still be able to do it, but it's not going to be that nice 1/2 inch tab at the top or the 1/2 inch tab on the sides. See, I don't even know if it's worth me folding it over, but we'll try it. Okay, so let's go ahead and glue our tabs down. Hopefully these are the right size. They look like they're good. So it needs to be 8 1/2 by 5 1/2, not 8 1/4 and 5 1/4. And I don't know if it's wrong on Poodle's website or if it's just I transposed it incorrectly, but we can fix it. Not like I never have a typo on my project sheet ever, huh? Okay. No, I don't think I need to cut a new one. I think it'll be okay. So what I'm going to do again is cut out this little square up here and cut out this little rectangle here. And then I'm going to put tear and tape along this skinny little tab. Shoo. and fold that over on itself. And that's why I love tear and tape. Tear and tape is so strong. It does such a great job of holding it down. You do not have to worry about it. Okay, so tear and tape on this corner. Now before I do that, I do want to cut up these bottom flaps. These are going to be the bottom of our box. Hopefully these are right. This should be fun. So maybe I just have the scoring wrong, not the size of the box. That would be even worse. Okay, so there's that. Now we can put our box together. So now I can take this side adhesive, and if there's any that goes over the edge, just fold it back on itself. Fold it over, glue it flat, pop it up. Now let's go ahead and put our box together. And I'm going to again use liquid glue just because it's quicker. And then you can also put your bone folder in here, push it down, and there you have another box. Now this one goes right behind the small one, like so. Okay, we're getting there. Two more. We only have two more. So now we're going to do our second tallest. So this one, it's not quite our tallest, but it's going to be our second to tallest. And this one, again, I switched up the colors. Nope, I didn't. I kept this one black. Okay, so the second tallest box is 10.5 by 7. So 10.5 by 7. And the DSP pieces are four of them that are cut at 2.25 by 3 3/4. Okay. So on the long side, we're going to score at 2.5, 5, 7 3/4, and 10. Now turn it long side or short side and score at 2.5 and 6.5. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and glue our DSP down. All sides of this DSP is so pretty. You cannot go wrong. It was hard choosing the DSP that I wanted. Uh-oh, this one makes me nervous. That one has a lot of room to fit. I think I scored it wrong. Let me look at this again. Two and a half, 5, 7 3/4, and 10. I think it should have been 7.5. I'm going to take this off. I'm going to score it 7.5. That fits better. Yeah. Okay, that's another one. I'm sorry, you guys. 7.5. So I'll fix that too. Okay. Maybe it's good to test out my project sheets live so I can make sure I get all the typos out. I'm telling you, there's a lot of measurements to remember, so am I surprised? No, not really. So I'm just folding all of these edges. Okay, and again, same kind of thing. We're going to do the same thing as we've done with all the other boxes. take out this rectangle here at the top, or I mean, sorry, square here at the top. Take out this little rectangle here at the bottom. Okay, and then we're going to cut up these edges and miter. Okay. So again, we will just put tear and tape along this 1/2 inch strip here at the top. So that we can fold it down and glue it down. Turn it over, put adhesive on this outside little 1/2 inch tab. And while we're at it, I'm just going to put some adhesive on 3 out of the 4 of these tabs. Okay, now let's go ahead and fold this over and glue it down. Okay, and then we're going to pop it up like so. Now this one is going to be our last one that glues down. So just peel off the backing, fold it down, peel off the backing. Fold it down. Peel off the backing again. And then last but not least, fold that down. Have another box. This box goes snugly in this corner here, and that one's going to hold all of our coloring tools. Okay, we have one more box to make. That would be our tall and skinny box, our tallest and skinniest box. So let's go ahead and do that. We have a piece of cardstock. This is Thick Whisper White at 8 1/4 by 8. Now on the long side, so on the 8 1/4 side, score at 2, 4, 6, and 8. And then on the 8-inch side, score at 2 1/2 and 7 1/2. Okay, let's go ahead and glue our DSP down. Now I like the flower side, so it's just that opposite side of the diagonal gold pieces. So we're going to do that flower side this time. We just glue, too long. Did I score it the wrong place again? Oh, should it have been 2 inches? Yep, it should have been 2 inches, not 2 1/2. So on this short side, at the H side, don't score at 2 1/2, score at 2. And I will fix that too. It's just 2 and 7 1/2. Okay. So, this bottom one here. Okay. Come on. There we go. Okay. Put this. That fits better. Another one. Fortunately, we hadn't folded on the score line yet, so that was good. And these little panels are kind of helping me make sure I have the measurements right before I start cutting stuff. So I guess that's a good thing. Another bonus to gluing down the DSP first. If you have your DSP measurements right, you should have the box measurements right. Absolutely, this is going to be an amazing tool to have. And, well, to store all my tools, it's going to be amazing. I am very excited for it. And now I have an extra one that I think I'm going to give away at the retreat this weekend. Okay, so again, cutting off the little square and the little rectangle. Mitering these little tabs down here. Okay. And then I gotta fold and burnish. Okay, so let's put tear and tape on this little tab. Super, super cute. Yeah, Jenny, I'm just making myself notes so that after my Facebook Live, I can go in and make those corrections to the DSP or to the project sheet. Okay, so there's that. Oh, I did it again. Whew. Gotta glue this tab down first. You'd think after making this box so many times, I would have got that down, but apparently not so much. Okay, now we can fold it over. Make our little box. Glue. Okay. There we go. Wow, look at that, you guys. Now we have two cool caddies here. And I like this one better because I alternated the black. So you can see some of the boxes are black, some of the boxes are white. But I had the way I had made it, the two boxes that were black were on this side, the whites were on this side. Now I've kind of mixed it up. So I've got black on both sides and white on both sides. So see, just a subtle difference. Again, it doesn't matter what DSP you use, but I just love that black and white and gold. Okay? How fun. These projects could be yours for an order of $35. Now up in the corner here, let's see if my finger can go in the right direction. See that? See that code right there? Use that code. Go to my website, shop. $35 gets you these two projects. I cut and score everything and send it to you. $50 gets you my paper pumpkin. You get 1 month prepaid paper pumpkin, plus the celebration item, plus my new projects. Awesome. Thank you so much for a fabulous week. You guys know I'm going to be live this weekend, or at least trying to take pictures and video to post when I do have cell service. So I will miss you next Sunday, but I can't wait to show you guys all the fun that we had the following Sunday, which is my daughter's birthday, actually, March 15th. All right, you guys, bye. Thank you so much. Have a great week. Love ya.